Take two. Okay.
Finish your class game.
Yeah. Tell me when you're done.
I started like 3 seconds ago.
Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Kamal. Will the audience please show themselves for the camera? Thank you. So what single cellular process provides this entire world with over 80% of its energy? Is it nuclear power plants? Is it giant windmills? Or perhaps the very heat of the core of the planet Earth itself, geothermal plants? No. None. 9. It is photosynthesis, as substantiated by global primary energy statistics. With this presentation, my goals are to educate you of the 2 major steps of photosynthesis. Now, before we move into that, I should tell you, why should you listen to me? Now, I'm majoring in biological sciences, and in my free time I also like to study biochemistry and organic chemistry as well. And in preparation for this presentation, I've spent about 4 hours doing research. So I should have a solid grasp and understanding of biochemical processes. So what's in it for you? Why should you care? Why should you listen? Well, worldwide problems like deforestation and climate change are due to a gas called carbon dioxide building up in our atmosphere. This negatively impacts us and makes the entire Earth a less habitable place for us to live. Understanding the processes that underlie photosynthesis will allow you to understand why plants are so crucial to ensure that the Earth doesn't go down this path of destruction that climate change and deforestation are leading us to. So if you want to live a quality, comfortable life the same way in which you're living now, then in order to understand that, you will have to learn about photosynthesis. By the end of this presentation, you should be able to defend the importance of botanical life. And you should be able to describe the light-independent reactions as well as the light-dependent reactions in the reverse order. And you should be able to attribute the chemical yield of photosynthesis to its effect on its environment. Importance and overview. Before we move into the 2 major steps, I have to talk to you about this. An overview is photosynthesis is a biochemical process that takes in stuff like sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide to produce something such as glucose, sugar. Sugar is important because it provides this world with over 80% of its energy, as mentioned previously. So without photosynthesis, you and I would not be alive, probably. Another important key importance is that it takes in carbon dioxide from the air. Without plants, the carbon dioxide just keeps building up in the atmosphere. And this is actually what leads us to climate change and global warming. And this will end up eventually ravaging the Earth in the very near future if we don't do something about it. Now, for where it takes place in the cell leaf. Now, we're going to be talking about 3 biochemical structures: the cell leaf, the chloroplast, and the thylakoid, right? We'll talk about that in a second. Now, basic overview of the processes that goes on is that sunlight goes into the leaf cell, into the chloroplast, and then this energy of light is used to create glucose along with carbon dioxide, and it's essentially fixated into a sugar. And the 2 processes are light-dependent reactions first, and then light-independent reactions. So these are 2 processes that take place in the creation of glucose. Let's start off with light-dependent reactions. So in the chloroplast, there's a biomechanical machine that harnesses the power of the sun itself. The name of this machine is the thylakoid. So sunlight comes down from the sun, and in the thylakoid, there's this water molecule. When the sunlight hits the water molecule, it splits apart and it releases an energized particle called the electron. Within the thylakoid, this electron is moved around and it releases energy. And this energy is contained into a molecule known as ATP. Let's elaborate on that. So, before I go on explain this picture, you don't need to pay attention to everything in here. I'll summarize it for you. Basically, when an electron moves around, it loses energy. You can liken this to the process of someone who is riding a bicycle. You, a human being, say you're riding a bicycle, you're moving around and you're losing energy. You're losing thermal energy, you're losing mechanical energy because you're moving. Same is the case with this electron. You see, the light comes in. The water molecule splits apart into oxygen and hydrogen, releasing an electron. The electron moves around and it's losing energy. And to simplify things, this energy that it loses results in the production of something known as ATP. Step 2, light-independent reactions. ATP is like currency, but it's for energy. This molecule goes to a space outside the thylakoid, and this space is called the stroma, where other chemical reactions take place. This is where carbon dioxide molecules come to play, or according to Huang F., who created this Rubisco accumulation in Biogenesis 2020. And in this place, these carbon dioxide molecules come and they join something called the Calvin cycle. You don't need to know all the details. We'll elaborate it in a second. And this Calvin cycle is fueled by ATP, according to engineering, improves photosynthesis and plant biomass. Of course, the article is too long to be read here. And eventually, this will turn the carbon dioxide into glucose. Now, again, there's a lot of detail over here. Only focus on what I'm telling you. The carbon dioxide enters a cycle. ATP is used. More energy is used. We don't need to talk about that here. And then, in the end, glucose is made, right? Cycle returns. More ATP is used. More carbon dioxide enters the system. More ATP is used. More glucose is created. So this is the cycle that goes on. In conclusion, glucose is the ultimate source of energy for all people. Without it, there's no you and there's no I. It's produced in the stroma by the light-independent reactions. And the light-independent reactions are fueled by the ATP that's produced by the light-dependent reactions. So you see, solving worldwide problems such as global warming and deforestation requires knowing the scientific principles that underlie these mechanisms. Most people find photosynthesis boring, but the truth is that it is a beautiful and delicate process that allows you and I to live the way we do today. Thank you. May the audience please show themselves for the camera. Any questions?
How many Krebs cycles does it take to produce one glucose?
Bruce, how many peptides? It's 2. No, it's 6 total. But like in every cycle, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's an intermediate chemical that's produced, and it takes 2 of these chemicals to create glucose. So the total is actually 6.
Yeah, I agree with that.
6 or 7?
No, 6 only.
Yeah, I actually have a question. It's a very nice shirt, but where'd you get it from?
Yeah, so I got it from you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I have another
Where
question.
it goes, where it's good, right?
So how does the inner of the stroma help with the production of photosynthesis?
So the insides of the stroma helps with
Yeah.
It's just the medium where the chemical reaction takes place.
Oh, we got another question right here.
So I mean, how can I use photosynthesis to help me my daily life? Because you're trying to make it seem as a very important thing. So like, do I need to implement this in my life?
So you don't use photosynthesis. The plants use photosynthesis.
So I need to be more careful with the plants and
You don't need to be careful with the plants.
But-
you need to defend botanical life, right?
defend the plants. Okay.
Right, like some
And
people.
understand what they're trying to do, and tell people
plants
how
are trying
important
to
it is, like how important it is to the plants.
Yeah, plants are pretty important, man. right? Like for example, there's all this deforestation going on in Brazil. Some people want to see all of Brazil, all the Amazon forest
Yeah.
just chopped down.
So
That's
why is
not
that
very
bad?
healthy.
It makes way for new infrastructure and new buildings and new civilization.
And I agree with you totally, Moby, right there.
Yeah, so what is the point of infrastructure if like you can't breathe, right?
But that breathing is from air. Like from here, I think you're just against progression and infrastructure. And I think
Can't you just use air conditioning?
yeah,
No,
like
you
breathing.
don't
You
know-
can
you don't
only
know
Breathing,
breathing
there's no
is.
trees in here.
yeah,
we-
how are we breathing right now?
Yeah, because
I mean,
like
that vine,
But we're
all this
indoors.
ventilation brings in air from like
So ventilation gives us air.
ventilation. No. Trees put the oxygen that's inside what you're breathing right now.
I thought
This
oxygen was
ventilation
poisonous.
takes place from like sources out from healthy air, oxygenated air. That's what you're breathing.
Wait, come on. I'm about to funk you. Wait, so where were the trees during the ice age?
What did you repeat that?
Oh!
What about the trees in the desert? In the desert, there's no
Oh.
trees.
Not a lot of things survived in the
But there's
ice
still
age.
air.
First of all,
But they did.
There's still air. Trees don't produce air.
But you
Trees
that's
don't
what you're
produce
saying.
air.
Earlier. You were just saying that earlier.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you
Oh,
just
I
said
said
that they produce the oxygen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Are you conflating air and oxygen? Come on,
Sorry.
high school students, don't do that.
Sorry.
Okay, I have a real question though.
Yeah, real quick.
Can you tell me approximately how much ATP is produced at each step of photosynthesis? Like
Yeah,
for
so-
example, the Krebs cycle, how much ATP is produced? And just at each step. how much
Yeah,
is
so in
produced?
glycolysis,
Yeah.
4 ATP is produced. However, 2 ATP are used in the process of creating that ATP. So at that point, total net 2 so far.
Okay.
After that, we have pyruvate oxidation.
Yeah.
At that point, 2 is produced, so total 4, net 4. And then after that, we get into the Krebs cycle. 2 more is produced. And then, it's total 6 by the way. And then at the end, we have a process called oxygenative phosphorylation. This is where like the ETC and the proton pumping is going on, all that complicated stuff. This ends up resulting to about 28 to 32 ATP. And then when you add in all the other like 6 ATP that was produced in the rest of the cellular respiration, that ends up to about 38 ATP.
What about in like anaerobic, like without the oxygen?
What's that?
What about with the non-oxygen plants? How much
So-
ATP is produced there?
So I think all plants use oxygen. I don't know what you mean by
Oh,
non-oxygen
there's one-
plants.
there's
Are you
like-
talking about fermentation?
No, there's like so that one produces 28 to 32.
Yeah,
anaerobic.
Respiration.
Yeah,
Anaerobic
so
Which
not
I don't
not
think is
not a lot of ATP is produced.
It's like 2 to 3, 6
Yeah,
to 7,
I think about like 2 to 3.
around 6 to 7.
6
Oh
to
wait, so
7.
you said 6 or 7?
No, I didn't say 6 or 7.
Oh, okay. So I actually have a follow-up question on
Yeah,
that.
follow yeah.
So I was just wondering which step of photosynthesis produces the most carbon dioxide, and how much carbon dioxide is that?
So photosynthesis doesn't actually produce carbon
Oh,
dioxide.
I
it
meant-
uses carbon
I meant,
dioxide.
um,
cellular respiration.
Yeah.
Yeah, so cellular respiration, it actually just breaks down the glucose that comes in, and then the other like carbon dioxide molecules, they go back to the chloroplast.
So what is carbon dioxide?
So carbon dioxide is a gas, right?
Are you
breathe it
dragging
out.
it now? Alright, you're dragging it.
Yeah, you're dragging it
It
down.
was an actual question, yo.
So
I
carbon
failed
dioxide,
chemistry.
it contains 1 carbon atom and 2 oxygen atoms.